Welcome to The Explainer. So, you've poured years of your life into building your janitorial business. Blood, sweat, the whole 9 yards. But what happens when it's time to sell? How do you make sure all that hard work pays off in a big way? Well, that's exactly what we're breaking down today. The strategy for getting ready for what might just be the most important deal you'll ever make.
All right, let's just jump right in with the million-dollar question, the one every single owner has to ask themselves. Is my business really ready to sell? I mean, right now. Because, it's one thing to want to sell, but it's a whole different ballgame to be in a real position of strength when that day arrives. And here's the thing, the work you put in before you even whisper the word sell, that can literally be the difference between a good price and a great one. We're not just talking about a little spring cleaning here. This is about strategically building up the value of your business so a buyer sees exactly what all that hard work is truly worth.
Okay, so where do we start? Let's get into it. The very first thing you've got to do is take a good, long, honest look under the hood of your own business. Seriously, you need to put on a new pair of glasses and see your company just like a potential buyer would.
Think about it. A buyer wants to buy a well-oiled machine, not a fixer-upper, so they're going to be looking at everything. How often do your workers quit? That tells them if you've got a stable team. Are your customers happy and sticking around? That means reliable income. Even things you might not think about, like your green cleaning practices, can actually add some serious value.
Okay, check this out, because this is where it gets really interesting. We've got two companies, Spotless Solutions and Clean Pros, Inc. On paper, they look identical. Same revenue, same profit. But, and this is a big but, Clean Pros is worth a whole lot more. Why? Simple. It just runs better. They've got efficient operations, a solid customer base, and for a buyer, that makes them a much, much safer bet.
And that brings us to what might be the holy grail for a buyer, predictability. You see, a cleaning business with a ton of regular, locked-in contract money, that stands out. It screams steady and low risk. It's the proof a buyer needs that your income isn't just a one-time thing, but a reliable cash flow machine.
All right, next up, organizing your paper trail. Now, I know, this is not the exciting part, but let me tell you, this is where the rubber meets the road. Deals are literally won or lost right here. Why? Because a messy paper trail creates doubt. And you know what doubt does? It kills deals fast.
So, first things first, you're going to need to pull together all your financials for the last, say, 3 to 5 years. We're talking profit and loss statements, balance sheets, tax returns, the works. But don't just think of them as numbers on a page. They're telling the story of your business. And when those records are clean and easy to follow, you build instant trust with a buyer.
Next on the checklist, contracts. Every single customer and vendor contract needs to be organized and ready. Remember that steady, recurring revenue we were just talking about? Well, this is the hard proof. Buyers are going to comb through these things to understand everything from payment terms to how you operate legally.
And finally, you'll need to make some detailed lists. A list of all your employees and what they do. And a list of all your stuff, your equipment, your vehicles, you name it. This isn't just about counting vacuums. It's about showing a buyer the complete engine they're about to purchase, from the people who make it run to the tools that do the work.
Okay, so once you've got that solid foundation built, it's time for the fun part. Let's talk about how you can actually boost your company's value. This is where we go from being just ready to sell to being completely irresistible to the right buyer.
Now, this table really drives home the power of having standard procedures. I mean, just look at this. Company A and Company B, they're making the exact same amount of money, but Company B could be worth almost double. How is that possible? It's the SOP manual. Having everything documented proves that the business isn't just you. It's a system that can keep making money long after you're gone. Another huge value add that's completely in your control? Your online brand. I mean, let's be real. In today's world, if a buyer can't find you online, you might as well not exist. So setting up a professional website, making sure you show up in local searches, and getting those great customer reviews, it all adds up to making you look more credible and valuable.
Yeah, the takeaway here is super simple. What people see about you online, whether they're customers or potential buyers, directly shapes how much they think you're worth. It's basically your digital storefront, and you want it to look absolutely spotless.
All right, we've done the prep work. The business is looking sharp. We are officially standing at the door to the deal room. So let's talk about two huge things: how to put the right price tag on your business, and then how to find the perfect buyer.
Okay, before we get into the numbers, there's a term you absolutely have to know. SDE. That's seller's discretionary earnings. And no, it's not just your profit. It's the total cash benefit you, as the owner, are actually pulling out of the business. So that's your net profit, plus your salary, plus maybe the car payment or other perks you run through the company. It's the true picture of the cash a new owner could expect to make.
Now, there are a bunch of ways to value a business, but for most janitorial companies, especially if you're the owner-operator, it really boils down to that SDE multiple. And the reason is simple. A buyer isn't just buying an asset. A lot of the time, they're buying themselves a job. They want to know, what's my total take-home going to be? And SDE gives them that exact number.
Valuation can get super complicated, for sure. But here's a really useful rule of thumb to keep in your back pocket. For janitorial businesses in a place like California, a common sales multiple is around 0.7 times your annual revenue. Now, it's not set in stone, but it's a great reality check and a solid place to start.
Okay, so you're ready to sell. How you actually market the business is a huge deal. Going with a confidential listing is, honestly, the only way to go. If you just put a for sale sign out front, you risk freaking out your staff and your customers. Plus, your competitors would love to know you're selling. Keeping it confidential protects everything you've built.
All right, we're on the home stretch. Let's talk about the final, and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, your team. I'm going to say this flat out. Trying to sell your business all by yourself is a massive mistake. It's a surefire way to leave a ton of money on the table.
Think of selling your business like a team sport. And you've got 3 star players you need on your roster. You need a business broker to find and vet serious buyers. You need an accountant to make sure your financials are rock solid. And you need an attorney to handle all the legal stuff and protect you. Trust me, these folks will more than pay for themselves.
And here's a key tip. Don't just hire any expert. You need people who get your business. A lawyer who deals with tech companies isn't going to understand the ins and outs of a labor-heavy, route-based business like yours. Finding people with that specific industry experience, it's absolutely non-negotiable.
So what's the bottom line here? Getting a great price for your business isn't about getting lucky. It really comes down to a simple formula: great preparation, perfect paperwork, and an expert team in your corner. That's the recipe for maximizing your company's value.
And that's our breakdown for today. You've poured years of your life, your energy, your passion into building this business. So the final thought I'll leave you with is this. Are you ready to put that exact same focus and strategy into building your exit?